Hi, it's Anna, or Anna G Writes and Reads, and today we're going to go over the books on my TBR that I don't think I'm going to get to for a while, or that I might even unhaul in a future video. I know there's at least over 100 physical books, so I'll try to keep a counter and see, because I don't actually know how many there are. First up, we have the Unwanted series, so I have all 7 of these, and I'm actually interested in reading them, but my brain somehow gets really overwhelmed by long series like this. The only series that I'm really ever able to read that's longer than like 4 books is the Pendragon series. With this series, I don't know when, but I want to try to figure out a way to break up the longer series and see if that'll help me finish these, because I have a few other longer series that I'm also kind of putting on the back burner because I'm just intimidated to start them. Speaking of longer series I'm intimidated to start, I know this is only 5 books. I remember trying to read Game of Thrones a few years back. It just wasn't it. It made my reading slump even longer than it should have been, which was 8 years. But I saw this box set for $10 and I was like, oh, okay, may as well try it out. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna get to this because, again, I'm intimidated to start this. I really want to try and delve into this world, but again, it's just so long and I don't even have all of them, and I'm just so intimidated to start. So I definitely do, I think, want to buy the other ones so that I have complete sets of everything. I got really lucky with these 3, I think, because they have the cool sides. But yeah, I'm just really intimidated to like delve into this world, because I don't know anymore if I want to be reading the same series for like months on end, or if I'm able to take breaks in between them. This is another one where, again, I'm intimidated to start because it is 6 books long, but also I see really mixed reviews. Not sure what this is gonna be for me, if I'm gonna like it or not. I got this for my birthday. Yeah, we'll see when I get to it. Now I have all the Shadow Children book by Margaret Peterson in the Haddock series, I think. And I do want to read these, but this year I'm doing a book buying credit system where for every book I read that's over my TBR, I get to buy a book. And this year, I feel like I would just get through these really quick. They're not very long in any sort of way. So I don't want to kind of like cheat myself in that book buying system, and read a bunch of short books just so I'm able to buy more books. So that's the only reason why I'm holding these off. That's the same deal with these Killer Species books that my husband got me for the book advent calendar. Again, they're just shorter. I don't necessarily want to read them during my book buying credits year because, I don't know, I feel like the books that I want to buy now are not, smaller books like this. They're definitely bigger books and more expensive. So I kind of want to do a fair exchange with the books I'm reading being kind of similar length to the books I'm going to buy. Same deal with these spirit animal books. They're just shorter. And also I think there's 13 of them and I only have 4. I think though I really do want to like read one of these before I buy the other ones. But I think this would be something again that I want to do when I'm not doing my book buying credit system. Okay, so I feel like I'm holding all of these off because, one, people have some very strong opinions about James Patterson, so I don't know if I really want to read these. I bought these from somebody off of Facebook Marketplace, so for like $10 for all of these, and she said I needed to read these 2 before reading the Maximum Ride series. I also don't know if I actually have all the Maximum Ride books, but again, this just seems very long for a series. Like when I was younger, I would just read series all in a row. It's not what I want to do anymore, so I gotta try to figure out a different system. And my brain is just not letting me get into these. This series is another one where I don't have all of the books. I am kind of intimidated by the length of them and the print because, you can have kind of bigger books that have kind of bigger print, but this feels kind of small to me. So I don't know how, I feel about those, but I do want to get to these and I do want to get the rest of them because I feel like I've mainly heard good things about them. So if I'm wrong, definitely let me know. All right, we have 2 books in the Ranger's Apprentice series. I don't have all of the books. I don't know when I'm gonna get all the books for them. So I'm kind of holding these off because I also don't like to start a series until I have all of the books. So at least all the books that are out right now. So that's why I'm kind of waiting on these. But I think this one's a little more doable of a series. I could be very wrong. The next few books are ones I didn't feel as strong of a draw to as some of the books that are currently on my TBR. Like, I would rate my interest in all the books coming up anywhere between like a 4 to a 6. I wanted to read some other books before these. We have Where the Moon Meets the Mountain, Crimson Bound, and Enchantment of Ravens, but I did just watch a TikTok on this where there's an author who's like raving about this book. So that's kind of piquing my interest a little more to this one, where I feel like I'm gonna put this one near like the top of the pile that I'm gonna pull. Steal Fear, Before We Were Strangers, Shamed, 7 Lies, Search Party. This is one that my mom recently got me as like a gift, and it actually sounds really good. So similar to An Enchantment of Ravens, might be putting this near the top to kind of pull. Damsel, The New American, Weregirl, Hunted, Making Bombs for Hitler. Is saying that gonna get me in trouble? Twisted, Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie, which I feel like I've heard of. And I picked this up at like a 25-cent a book bookstore. I don't remember why fully I picked this up, but I feel like I have some memory that this is related to. Tangerine, which is a book that my friend lent me that I started reading and like kind of, again, this is when I was trying to read different books during my reading slump and it didn't really help, but I still want to try it. The Man in the High Castle, Mortal Engines, The Handmaid's Tale, Just One Year, I Was Here, Can You Keep a Secret? I'm going through my pile and I thought I had everything organized. I forgot that I have Chain of Gold as well. So see, her books intimidate me. I only have like 6 more books that I kind of feel somewhat interested to read, but don't have a huge pull. Dead City, Running in Heels, The Cupid War, Malibu Rising, and Teen Idol. So now the rest of the books have some other reason besides just not fully piquing my interest as to why I want to read them. So I have these 3 Tessa Bailey books that I was really excited to get to, but she signed with HarperCollins during the union strike, and the union specifically said, you know, if you have an existing contract with HarperCollins, you know, you have a contract to fulfill with them, but don't start new contracts. And she did the exact opposite. So these are the first books where I'm like, I don't know, I kind of gotta get my own feeling on Tessa Bailey and see if she is someone that I want to start reading or not. Along that vein, I have all these Colleen Hoover books. She just seems like a very problematic author from all the stuff that I've been hearing, but then also people really love her. I just don't know what side of that to be on. I bought these like all when I was first thinking about starting a book talk. I was like, all right, what are the books a lot of people are talking about? Colleen Hoover is obviously a big name. Am I ever gonna? I really don't know. Because I've read a few of her books and I don't think they live up to the hype. I don't know. You have these 3 2-minute mystery books. It's a similar reason as some of the other shorter books. I'm doing my book buying credits and I just don't think it'd be, you know, I don't think it'd be fair to read these and then go buy like a 400-page book. Tattooist of Auschwitz, I think is also potentially a problematic book. I feel like I want to do more research on this before I read this. I have a few nonfiction books about the Holocaust that I want to read going into next year, maybe this year. So I definitely don't want to get any, you know, like problematic books related to World War II. So this one just needs a little more research. Snow Like Ashes is part of a duology. I just don't have the second one yet. And again, I felt kind of semi-interested in this. So once I get the second one, it might move up the ranks a bit, but I do need to get the second one of this. And I will be buying the second one before I read this one. I can guarantee you that. This is kind of the opposite situation to Snow Like Ashes. We have Hollow City, which is the second book in this series. This is randomly a signed copy. I didn't even notice it was a signed copy. I bought it from Half Price Books. So I do want to get the other books in this series. I also think this series is a longer series. I have a lot of conflicting feelings about when to start this. It's the same deal here. I have the first book, but I don't have the rest of them. Probably will look into getting the rest of these before I delve into this. Now this is the opposite of the book before this. This is the last book in the series, so I need like the first 2 or 3 before I actually delve into this. Now I have the Fallen Kingdoms books. I don't have all of them, but I have 3, which is a good start. But I'm really on a standalone duology type of kick right now. My TBR might change if I want to start reading series. This might be one that goes in there. The Revel of the Sands trilogy, and I think it's just a trilogy, is also one of those where this was just recently finished. I got the first 2 from the book advent calendar in December. Just got this from a Valentine's Day basket my husband made. This was lower on my TBR just because I didn't have the first book, but now that I have the first book, I don't actually know if I want to read it sooner or not. So that's something that getting organized will help figure out. Similar deal here with this duology. Got this one in the book advent calendar in December, got this one in my Valentine's Day book basket. I wasn't initially going to read these, but now that it's completed, it might bump up my TBR. So these two books I got in the book advent calendar, but one of my TikTok friends said that these also might be kind of problematic. I also don't have the third one, and I think this is a trilogy. So just gonna put these kind of lower on my TBR, see what happens in a year or two. This Tomb Quest book I got in the book advent calendar. It's book one. It's short, want to do it on a non-book buying credit system year. And also, you know, it's not like the first book I'm gonna grab off a shelf right now, but it is something that I'm somewhat interested in. And then this is the final book. My mom got this for me as a gift. I think honestly, if there was a book that I was least interested in reading, it's probably this one, just because it's kind of out of left field for me. But I still do want to give it a chance, because reading outside of the same genre that I usually read is something that I want to keep doing, and that is important to me. All right, so we're gonna go put those on the longer term TBR shelf now. That is also what they all look like on the floor before I put them anywhere. Here is our new shelf with all of the books. Again, don't know when I'm gonna get to any of these, but this is double stacked and we'll just have to see. So what do you think? Did I make good choices? Should I push some of these up sooner? Definitely let me know.